providing the right treatment at the right time, whatever your needs. When you choose Prairie Cardiovascular, you'll know your heart is in the right place.
I'm Len Casper, the voice of the White Sox Radio Network. Follow the Sox across central Illinois on the Big 1520 WHOW.
Sponsored by AHW, your John Deere dealer, Kelly's Accounting, Burgess & Klein Insurance, Piatt County Collision Center, the State Bank of Bement's Monticello location, Dubson Heating and Cooling, Kirby Medical Center, First Mid, Clean Movement, and Kester Homes, all in Monticello.
Veltima fungicide outyields the competition by an average of 7 bushels per acre. But you've never been average. The only competition that really matters is you versus you. And with the performance of Veltima fungicide from BASF, you can take your best results even further. Beat your own record. Get every bushel you deserve. And make this your best season yet with Veltima fungicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. Ugh, it's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
News time, 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast. The city of Clinton completed its strategic planning last year and now is working towards executing it. Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers is no stranger to strategic planning, and no matter the impact, he feels it's always good to plan for the future.
You know what? I've been involved in some strategic plans, and not only the police department in the city here recently, but in other organizations and whatnot. And I find them to be extremely beneficial. You know, not always extremely earth-shattering, but it's just good to sit down and put that thought process together and put things on paper. You know, set some goals and then work towards those goals. You know, just a good reminder. It's a good template and a roadmap to what do we need to be working on, you know, and putting minds together, putting heads together, our command staff and whatnot. But yeah, so, you know, the city worked on the strategic plan, was it a year ago or so, maybe a little more than that, you know, and I think was very beneficial to sit down, get ideas from also other department heads and things, not only for the city, but for each individual department. And, you know, I think that's been extremely beneficial, and we went right to work on it.
While the chief admits the police department's goals are not earth-shattering, one goal is improving their facilities. While at one point the city was looking into building a new city hall and public safety facility, they have had to pivot away from those plans due to high costs.
So, I mean, just ours, you know, again, nothing extremely earth-shattering. But, you know, we sat down and you know, I believe the strategic plan is available on the city's website. So you can look at the same things that I'm going to share with you now. But, you know, one of our goals was to enhance our police facilities. At the time that we were working on the strategic plan, there was also discussion of a new city hall and a public safety complex, you know, and I can tell you that would have been absolutely huge towards our strategic plan. You know, our facilities, you know, I'm not being critical, but not only the police department and obviously the fire department, but City Hall, we have outgrown our facilities. And so, you know, we have made do and we make it work, but it's, you know, obviously a newer facility with more space, more room, you know, the technology, just the different things that we do today versus what they have done for a century. You know, we do need more space and things. So that was a big part of it, you know, for everybody going into the strategic plan was to enhance our police facilities. You know, obviously where we have come short there so far is the identifying funding, but to develop a conceptual design that is more conducive for what we do today, policing in 2025, but also the growth that we can expect in the future. So, you know, that one is kind of at a standstill citywide, obviously, because of various issues with funding and whatnot. So that one was one of our main goals, but it is kind of on the back burner at the time.
The chief says internally, the police department would like to provide specialized training for officers and supervisors. He mentions each of his officers has their own interests and skills, so he would like to tap into those interests to better equip his team.
Internally, it was providing specialized police and supervisor training, sitting down and coming up with a training plan for each individual officer or each individual rank, and what we want to have them certified in and where we want to direct their training, in addition to just the basic training and the continual monthly training and following those mandates. But, in a department our size, everybody steps up and takes responsibility. Everybody's got different quirks that they, are interested in, whether it be tactics and firearms training, whether it be investigative type stuff. Everybody seems to kind of have their own interests and whatnot. And so to highlight those and cue in on those and help develop enhanced training in those areas. So a couple things that we've done in that regard is over the last year, Sergeant Jostis went through the 10-week Northwestern University Police School of Staff and Command, which was huge. He did that last fall from like September through January and graduated in January. That was huge. Sergeant Jake Franklin, we got him through the 2-week Northwestern University Supervision of Police Personnel. Sergeant Franklin's been a sergeant for a couple years now, and we just now got him through that. All of Northwestern's courses are excellent supervisor training, and we got him through that. We've got a couple officers or investigators that are certified in not only lead homicide investigation, which allows them to lead a homicide investigation should we have one, but also sexual assault investigator training. There's certain aspects of investigations that require certification, and so we've made sure that we've kept up on those.
Chief Flowers believes improving officer morale should always be a goal of any department, and he points out that includes taking care of the officers' families.
Another one that we have, which I think should always apply, was enhance and foster morale within the department, and we're doing that through regularly scheduled meetings. We brought back, we meet with our command staff monthly and do that, and then we're going to set, biannual department get-togethers, but quarterly meetings within the department, and then try to do a couple entire department get-togethers that involve families. Enhancing morale isn't always about just taking care of your people, but taking care of the people that take care of them also.
The city strategic plan is available at the website clintonillinois.com. The heat of the summer appears to have set in this week, and there's more to come as the summer rolls along. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln indicates the July outlooks keep the above normal temperatures around and another month of above normal precipitation.
Well, we're getting the signal of above normal temperatures and above normal precip one more month. It's right on the edge. I shouldn't say above normal for Clinton, DeWitt area, but it looks like mainly that'll be just west of you. So equal chances for precip, but above normal temperatures is the signal for the whole month of July. It's good to see that the above normal precip is nearby, so maybe we'll kind of tip the balance toward the above normal precip, because the rest of summer, July, August, September, as we look further into the future, we're seeing a normal precipitation signal and a pretty solid one. So, drought conditions hopefully don't settle in, but that July, later July, August, September might be a little bit drier than normal when you're looking at the 3-month outlook.
According to Shimon, looking through the remainder of the summer, things will dry out in August and September.
Yeah, the precipitation tipping the balance toward drier than normal, all the way into September, it looks like. So, there probably will be some stresses going on with the drought conditions. There may be some expansion on that as I drought monitor. It is mentioning some, at least persistence of the current drought and maybe an expansion of areas where there isn't drought. So that would probably include DeWitt County at that point.
Shipman also indicates the soil moisture at the 4 and 8 inch levels appears in good condition thanks to rains from earlier this month. But deeper than that, he is concerned, and a dry outlook for the dog days of summer is not great.
Right now, I'm looking at the soil moisture is heavy rain we had last week really bumped up the 4-inch and 8-inch depths. They're above normal, pretty far up above the 80th percentile of moisture at the 4-inch level, and the 60th percentile 8-inch. The 20-inch depth though, dry. I'm it's wow. That's going to take a little while to get that going. That's like a whole month of just being like 2 to 3 inches above normal for a whole month to really get it to soak down. So we'll have to see if we can get that 20-inch level replenished.
Weather.gov/Lincoln has the latest in weather forecasts and severe weather information. Time now for a quick look at this morning's obituaries. 85-year-old Anna Faye Nodine of Clinton passed away June 15th. Services for 85-year-old Anna Faye Nodine will be at 11 a.m. Friday, June 20th at Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton, with Pastor Daryl Howard officiating. The visitation will be from 10 to 11 a.m. at the funeral home. Burial will immediately follow the service at Oak Park Cemetery in Clinton. In lieu of flowers, memorials can be made to the donor's choice. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
SIU Family Medicine wants the best health for you and your family.